With the emergence of Shohei Ohtani in MLB being one of the best, if not the best player currently, and Ichiro Suzuki being the first Japanese player in MLB history to make the Hall of Fame, Japan and Japanese baseball players have established themselves in MLB as very, very talented players. There are many great Japanese stars in MLB currently, such as Shohei Ohtani, Kodai Senga, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Roki Sasaki, Yu Darvish, Shota Imanaga, Seiya Suzuki, Yuki Matsui, Yusei Kikuchi, just to name a few. And there's also been many great historic players that came from Japan, like Ichiro Suzuki, Hideki Matsui, Hideo Nomo, and of course the funniest player of them all, Munenori Kawasaki. With so many great players in MLB history that came from Japan, I think it was appropriate to make a video about the top 10 players to come from Japan in MLB history. Number 1 on my list is the recent Hall of Fame inductee Ichiro Suzuki. I feel like many fans would think that Shohei Ohtani would be number 1 on my list. However, his playing career is not over yet, and I feel like I'm going to make this list again in a few years and update it. So as of right now, in the totalities of all Japanese players in MLB, I feel like Ichiro is the best of all time. Ichiro Suzuki is the first ever MLB Hall of Famer who is from Japan. He won an MVP and Rookie of the Year in the same season. Over 500 stolen bases, a .311 batting average, more than 3,000 hits, 10 Gold Gloves, 2 batting titles, 3 Silver Sluggers. And in my opinion, he's one of the best defensive right fielders of all time, while being one of the best contact hitters in MLB history. In many ways, he was truly a pioneer for Japanese players to make it in MLB, especially for Japanese position players, which many MLB clubs did not trust at that point. The second player on my list would be, of course, Shohei Ohtani. In my opinion, he's just starting to get to his prime in MLB, but I feel like he's already made a huge impact. He has been revolutionary in a way that no other player has been in MLB history, being a two-way player. When healthy, he's one of the better pitchers in MLB, and as a hitter, he's one of the top 3 hitters in MLB in my opinion. He's already won Rookie of the Year, he's a 4-time MVP, a 2-time World Series champion, and has already accumulated above 50 BWAR in just 8 seasons. He still has 8 years on his contract, and if he continues at this pace, he may be one of the best players in MLB history. Not only is he breaking barriers and being a revolutionary type of player, he is also the most popular player in MLB currently and is helping MLB expand the game. And when it's all said and done, not only could he be the best Japanese player in MLB history, but maybe the best player period. The third player on my list would be Yu Darvish. Yu Darvish has had a great career both in MLB and in NPB. He is a 5-time All-Star and finished top 10 in Cy Young voting 4 times. Yu Darvish has the most strikeouts of any Japanese-born pitcher in MLB history and was the fastest pitcher to ever reach 1,500 strikeouts in MLB history as well. And if you combine his MLB and NPB stats together, he already has 3,000 strikeouts in his career. Even though his career might be coming to an abrupt end pretty soon, if you look back at his career and what he's been able to accomplish in MLB, I feel like he's the best Japanese pitcher in MLB history at the current moment, and he was able to help pave the way for the new generation of Japanese pitchers coming up. The fourth player on my list would be Hideki Matsui. Hideki Matsui came over from the NPB at age 29 and had a 10-year career in MLB, and from the start of his career in MLB, he showed that he was a consistent player who plays a lot of games, can hit a solid amount of home runs, and hit for a high batting average and OPS. In his first 3 seasons in MLB, he did not miss 1 regular season game, had more than 100 RBIs each of those first 3 seasons, and had an OPS plus of 130 in 2 of them. Got a couple of All-Star appearances and got some MVP and Rookie of the Year votes as well. However, most importantly, Hideki Matsui showed that he was a truly clutch player, especially during 2009, where he had a playoff slash line of 349, 462, 674 with a total OPS of 1.136, and led that 2009 Yankee team to a World Series and was the World Series MVP. Hideki Matsui had a similar impact to the likes of Ichiro Suzuki, and showed that a Japanese player can come to America and be a great hitter. The fifth player on my list would be Hideo Nomo. For the fifth spot, I was debating between Hideo Nomo and Hiroki Kuroda. They both have very similar numbers. However, I feel like Hideo Nomo had more of an influential impact on the Japanese players overall, as he was one of the first pitchers to come over from Japan when he came in 1995. Throughout his career, he had a 20.9 WAR, 123 wins, and an ERA of 4.24, and he had an exceptional phenomenal start to his career. He won the Rookie of the Year in 1995 and was a Cy Young for both of those seasons. In those seasons, he struck out above 200 hitters and pitched in 190 innings or more, and had an ERA of 2.54 and 3.19 in 1995 and 1996. Although he did have some rough years after that, he had a late career resurgence with the Dodgers again in 02 and 03. Overall, he showed that a Japanese pitcher can come to MLB and dominate, and one thing he did do was always consistently throw innings and strike out a lot of batters. And becoming one of the first pitchers to come over from Japan, he broke a lot of barriers down for the next group of Japanese pitchers. The sixth player on my list would be Hiroki Kuroda. Hiroki Kuroda came from NPB at the ripe age of 33 years old, and he didn't waste any time and was solid from the start. What I find to be the most impressive is that he continued to get better with each year in MLB, and he went on an impressive streak of having 5 seasons in a row of 195 innings or more, and 4 out of 5 of those seasons his ERA did not climb over 3.40. He accumulated a 20.9 WAR and a 3.45 ERA in his short 7-year career. However, I would argue that each of those 7 years were very impressive, and even though he doesn't have any accolades to his name, I feel like he was a very good pitcher and very underrated, and he also performed very well in the playoffs, and I feel like he would have been talked more about had he not come so late to MLB. The 7th player on my list would be Masahiro Tanaka. I remember him having a lot of hype when he first came over from NPB to the New York Yankees, and right off the gate in his first 3 seasons he definitely performed. He was an all-star in his first season, got some Rookie of the Year votes, and even got a Cy Young 7 in 2016. And despite some down years because of injury, he showed that he was a very consistent pitcher throughout his MLB career. What was most impressive was when it was time for the playoffs, he absolutely dominated, especially in the 2017 and 2018 playoff runs when he had a combined ERA of 1.08 in 4 starts. Despite only staying 7 seasons in MLB from ages 25 to 31, I still feel like he had a very solid career in MLB. The 8th player on my list would be Hisashi Iwakuma. After a very solid rookie season in 2012 with Seattle, where he was both a starter and a reliever, he was absolutely dominant in 2013 with a 7 WAR, a 14-6 record, a 2.66 ERA, and 33 starts. He placed 3rd in Cy Young voting and even got some down-ballot MVP votes that season. He had another solid 3.5 years in MLB before going back to Japan, and despite coming to MLB in his early 30s and his career here lasting only 6 years, I truly felt like he was very good each season and had a solid career in MLB. And when he was healthy, he showed that he can pitch in a lot of innings and give you a start every 5 days and be a solid pitcher. The 9th player on my list would be Koji Iwahara. Koji Iwahara came to MLB at age 34 with the Baltimore Orioles, and after a so-so first season of being a starter, he was moved to the bullpen and everything changed dramatically. He had an ERA under 3 the next 7 of 8 seasons, and after very solid stints in both Baltimore and Texas, he went to the Boston Red Sox and became their closer and went on an absolute tear. In 73 games in 2013, he had a 109 ERA, 21 saves, and got some down-ballot Cy Young and even MVP votes that season. He followed off that amazing season with another 2 seasons of 20-plus saves and ERAs of 2.52 and 2.23. However, in my opinion, what Koji Iwahara will most likely be remembered for is his impressive 2013 playoff run, where he had an ERA of 0.66 in 13 appearances with 7 saves, giving up only 1 hit and 1 run while striking out 16 batters, while winning the ALCS MVP award and helping the Boston Red Sox win the World Series that season. Overall, I feel like Koji Iwahara was the best relief pitcher to come to MLB from NPB and truly had some historic seasons in his career. The 10th and final player on my list would be another reliever, Takashi Saito. Despite coming over from NPB to the Los Angeles Dodgers in MLB at age 36, he truly had a great career. In his first 6 seasons in MLB, his ERA never went above 2.85. He accompanied that with 84 saves, 400 strikeouts in 338 innings, and a career ERA of 2.34. In his first season in MLB, he got some down-ballot Cy Young and Rookie of the Year votes, and had 107 strikeouts in 78.1 innings pitched. In the following season, he had a 1.4 ERA with 39 saves, and was also an all-star. Other than his final season with the Arizona Diamondbacks, he was a great pitcher every single season. season, and he showed how dominant a Japanese relief pitcher can be. So there you have it. That is my list of the top 10 Japanese players in MLB history. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.